Hey everybody, welcome to PPC Campaign Generator version 2.94. So the main reason for this update was it was having problems working with Windows 8 and Windows 10. So if you have that operating system and you install it and you have any problems, let me know, because that was the main point of this update. There was also a lot of new updates with this one. So let's go ahead and get started. This is a culmination over many years of doing this and based on your feedback of what you want in the program. The first one, let's talk about the settings tab real quick. So we fixed a bug with the tracking ID. So not many people probably use this feature, but if you have, for example, this parameter on it like this, then it will put a unique ID for every keyword and add. If you have keyword level destination URLs, it'll have unique tracking IDs or unique numbers associated to them. That's mainly used for tracking purposes, and to be honest, I'm not sure how many people actually use it, but it's there if you need it now and it should work. Number two, we added a group search delay, so that just means whenever there was a lot of keywords in here and you try to search, this is instant search. So if I type in OO, that's instantly happening. When we add a search delay right here, if we said a delay of, let's say 1.25 seconds, and we hit search and we hit OO, it waits 1.25 seconds and then it executes. And that's good for when you have a large number of keywords in there. But by default, most people will probably just use it as 0. Number 3, process keyword and URL. So that means if you have this set to yes, it will basically obey the keyword parameter that you have in there. So for example, let's say we have keyword and then %20 is how we're going to handle the spaces for this keyword. Let's go ahead, let's set this to no just for now, and let's generate the results here. When we scroll down, you can see what it did. We assigned a keyword level destination URL to this one keyword, and it basically put the keyword with the %20 for the spaces. So in other words, it processed the keyword based on the token. The alternative to that is setting this to no, and what that'll do is simply put in the token. So we generate the campaign, we scroll down here, we should just see the token. So why is that useful? That's because the search engines, AdWords and Bing Ads, they use this token to dynamically generate the keyword on their end, which in my opinion is a lot better strategy than actually putting the actual keywords into the URL, but there are certain use cases for that as well. So it just really depends on what your situation is. Number 4, keyword level URLs. So this means if this is set to no, then and you have like an ad group level URL, that means when you go and generate your campaign, as you can see, the keyword level destination URLs, they're just blank, right? They're blank other than for that one that we were looking at, but they're blank basically. And if you wanted the keywords in the groups to inherit the destination URL that we have assigned to this group, I know that's probably complicated to wrap your mind around, but it's really not that hard. We just set that to yes, and that means, for example, all keywords in this group, if they don't have a destination URL already, they are going to inherit that ad group level destination URL. So to give you an example, generate the output here for this one ad group, and we can see that's exactly what happened. Everything except for this one keyword inherited the ad group level destination URL. So that's the settings tab. Now I'll go to the grouper tab. There are several features we added here. The first one is we can remove entire phrases. So if we saw materials, for example, or actually let's look for something a little bit more. I think I saw Toronto. Okay, so we see Toronto. Let's say we didn't want Toronto in our keyword list. We can put Toronto and any other words or phrases in this filter box, and then we can hit remove phrases. And now when we search for Toronto, we don't see them. So what this actually does is it removes the entire phrase from the keyword. So it's not deleting or removing the keyword, it's removing a whole bunch of phrases, potentially if you have a lot of phrases here, from all of the keywords. So think of this as a way to remove unwanted phrases. And when it removes it, it then checks to see if any duplicates exist, and if they do, it'll remove the duplicates as well. All behind the scenes, you don't have to worry about that. So the next feature we have is this filter. So you might have seen this filter when I click filter here. For Toronto, you don't see anything. We can clear the filter now. We can also filter, let's just say by panel. You can still use this contains full word. We can filter there like that, and then you can also like aluminum, so you can search while a filter is applied if you need to. Then you can clear the filter with that button. So what else did we do? We added the ability to edit keywords. So if we wanted to say Los Angeles, no, we want this to be just this. Okay. And then, so that's what it is. We can edit keywords now. And you can, probably the biggest thing that we did, you can add negatives. So you might have noticed this negatives tab. We can add negatives from just typing them in. We can use this filter box, add negatives as we type them and look through this list, and then take that list and copy it over here. We can also say right click negative for tile, and tile appears here, removes all the tile keywords, and tile becomes a negative. And these will actually get saved within the program and outputted in the results as campaign negative phrase matches. So that's a really useful feature, I think. Before, in the old program, you had to actually save the list and be conscious of that. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. It's all right here. It all gets saved in the program, and it'll get generated in the results. And then there's another feature for merging. So when you see two groups that are pretty similar, let's say cost and let's say prices, let's just make a group. We're going to say this is the cost/price group. Cost and price are pretty similar, so let's just hit merge groups. And that'll create a group called cost because cost has a higher frequency, so it'll choose the group with a higher frequency. As you can see right here, cost group was created, and in that group it has cost and it has price. So I think that's a pretty powerful feature. It saves you from having to drag and drop groups into other groups after the fact. Let's go on to the groups tab now. We can add, there's a lot of features added here. This is probably the most powerful update within the program because it allows you to create really dynamic kind of ads that are really relevant. There's so much more flexibility than in the previous version, 2.93. So in 2.94 you can add custom parameters to each group like you see here. For this example, let's just think, what would I want to generate the headline for this group? So I would just say this is a roofing campaign. We could actually put campaign here. You don't have to get fancy, so I want to stress you don't have to get fancy by putting these tokens in here. You can just type it in. Doesn't have to be a dynamic text or anything. Here you can say, so this would be the campaign name, that would be roofing, and then we could put the ad group name here. So that if we generate a headline like that, it would say roofing cost, basically. And then if we wanted to, let's just put a Seattle geographic modifier just to, and if we had a URL here specific to this ad group, we can put that in. We could just put in Seattle-contractors or something. And these custom 1, 2, and 3, you're going to see the power here in a minute. We don't have any ads right now. We have keywords, but I'm going to continue on here now. So you just notice that you can use the ad group tokens, you can use the campaign tokens, or you can use no tokens at all, just use plain text. So why is this useful? Well, let's go ahead and get into that. You can generate ads using these variables. So let's go to the ads tab and we're going to do some examples. Right now we don't have any ads. Let's go ahead and pick, I'll start out with a simple one. This is just an ad with no parameters, very simple. You can generate an ad for every single ad group like you saw here. But if you wanted to customize this, make the ads more specific to a certain group, you can, and that's where these tokens come in. So let's go ahead and delete those. In this example, we're going to take custom 1, custom 2, and custom 3, put that in the headline, and we're going to use the parameters here. So let's generate the ads, and we can see the ads are a lot more relevant to the groups. So you notice here, this in this case, we didn't specify any default text, and you'll see later why I use this group as an example, but the idea is you don't have to worry about that until it's really an issue. It'll make more sense here in a minute. So we've generated ads, as we can see, and they're all really relevant to the group. So this is roofing materials, this is sheets roofing, this is metal roofing, roofing cost Seattle. So you notice in our cost example it took roofing, it put the ad group name here, and it said Seattle. So that's how the variables work. You can get really creative here. Let me give you another example. This is a nested ad, so you can nest. We can first try the ad group name. If that didn't fit, it would go on to whatever the custom 1 value is. If that didn't work, it would go to custom 2, custom 3, and then it'll end up being roofing if all else fails. So this is going to generate ads that aren't going to make a lot of sense, but we're most interested here. So let's go ahead and just generate an ad for that group. So it shows roofing replacement. The question is, why did it choose roofing replacement? Well, the ad group name is longer than 25 characters. The custom 1 is longer than 25 characters. Custom 2 is longer than 25 characters. Custom 3, right here, it's 19 characters, so it fit within the headline, and that's why it was chosen. If it was too long, for example, let me go ahead and show you. This is too long. Okay, 36 characters, that's exceeding 25 character limit. It shows roofing, and that's because that's the default text here. So that's just a very high level of how that works. You can nest tokens together like that. That's a really advanced feature. If this is over your head, do not worry about it. It's just a feature if you need it, but you don't have to use it. Just like we see here, roofing materials, we didn't use any dynamic parameters for the shingles group, but we can see, we go to the ads here. Let's go ahead and custom 1, custom 2, generate the ads. It's just roofing materials. That's all it is. So that's a kind of high level overview of how these tokens, how you can use and leverage these custom 1, 2, and 3 fields within your ads. I think that covers quite a bit here. Nested tokens. Another big feature within the program is we added the ability to generate ads, so you can multi-select certain groups and then you can generate ads for those specific groups. So if you remember before, the old program, it would force you to generate ads for all ad groups. You don't have to do that anymore. You simply have to click a group. If we wanted to create a very specific ad for this group, we could say roofing replacement co. We can generate an ad for that specific group. You can see this custom 1, 2, and 3. we can actually change that to, whatever we want. Get a quote, whatever I'm not gonna write an ad right now. So that makes it a lot easier, a lot more flexible, so you don't have to regenerate ads after you've already fixed them or rewrote them. And also, one of the features that people wanted was dynamic keyword insertion. So we can just select, let me go ahead and get to this view. Let's say we wanted to select these for dynamic keyword insertion. Just click this button. They have it now. So there was an easy workaround within AdWords Editor and Bing Ads, but figured put that in the program just because people constantly ask me about it, and it's a useful feature. And then the generated results. So now when we go ahead and I'm just going to generate this result, you might have noticed that it's generating results for AdWords, and we have results generated for Bing Ads. So it's a simple copy paste right into AdWords Editor. Just copy it. One thing to note, the final URL, this is to support AdWords Editor 11 and their whole URL updates. It was destination URL, but it's now final URL. And then Bing Ads, not a lot have changed there in terms of the column naming conventions. So you just copy that, paste that into Bing Ads Editor, and it should update, import your campaigns. This was a long video. I went through a lot of stuff. If you have any questions, please feel free to post a comment down here below. If you have any problems, any errors, we are receiving them. And but still, it helps us to have as much context, screenshots, videos, whatever, as possible to get these fixed, because that's, we want to get this, whatever is wrong with the program, fixed for you guys so it works the way you expect. So thanks a lot for watching. I hope you like it. Please leave a comment or contact me. Thanks.